Why, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Where are the people? How are they doing tonight? Where are the people? I wish they were here to see what we talk about, to taste the good times. I guess they're lost. Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Sun up, sun down, sun up, sundown. With all my friends hanging around. We laugh so hard, we laugh all night. It's how I picture what it means to be happy. Picture what it means to be happy. Your eyes in the moonlight, your hand on a cool night, your kiss to say it's alright. It's how I picture what it means to be happy. Sometimes I wonder, is there any point at all? A reason for the pain? But I remember sun up to sundown, with all my friends hanging round. We laugh so hard, we laugh all night. It's how I picture what it means to be happy. Your eyes in the moonlight, your hug on a cool night, your kiss to say it's alright. It's how I picture what it means to be happy. Now I don't even know how I did that riff. All right. So, like, what I was referencing earlier was like we were talking about. That would be why. So we were talking about how it seems like Maverick City is taking over like the worship music, and it's not like the hymns and stuff anymore. It's just like a lot of Maverick City, a lot of like fluff with not a lot of stuff to it. And it was actually really refreshing talking with Paul. All right. So as he and I were talking back and forth, it honestly seemed more like um, seemed like we agreed in a few areas. So there's some songs that are done that are biblically sound, but they are like super shallow. He was saying basically there are songs that are sound doctrinally, but they're so very shallow. Um, and how the place he's in life, he's able to say, we're not going to sing that and whatnot for whatever reason. And I think there are some songs that should not be sang in church, even though they're under quote unquote the Christian banner. There's some things that shouldn't be said or sang in church. Um, there is a there's a push to get more of the feels for what's going on. There's a big push to make people happy to come to church for the goosebumps, for how they feel. And pardon me 1 second, I am multitasking. There's a push for people to be in their feels, to feel good, because in people's minds, they're like, why would I want to go to church and feel bad? Because if it's my one day off of the week where I don't have much of anything else, but I'm making time to go to church, then why would I use that time to go and feel bad about myself? And I kind of grew up in the time when it was more common for there to still be hymns and stuff played. There's the classics like Old Rugged Cross or Beulah Land, that sort of stuff. But as I grew up and as I continued to um, observe, I'll say it like that. As I continued to watch and observe, I didn't know what I was observing. I just was growing up. I'm like, I went along with the church thing because it's all I really knew. And it's what I believed. And I still do believe it. I don't have a doubt in my mind um, that Jesus is Lord. Not a single doubt in my mind. But as I got older, and then I started getting involved in worship ministry at church. And I started learning that the songs that were played there weren't just played because, they were good songs to sing. But there's a couple churches I went to where it was the reaction you got at it from the last service determined whether or not it would be played at this service. Hey, G, good to see you, man. So, growing up, it became a thing of maybe one night you might have no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage, I am free. Yeah. So you have that song played, and people are dancing, they're shouting, they're having fun. And so that next service, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage, I am free. Yeah. And you would see whether or not people were still responding to that song. If they were, then it would probably make an appearance again next week. Um, if it didn't, then you might have the splendor of a king, throned in majesty. Let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. And you would see how something like that would go. You would see honestly whether or not people were gelling with it. If they were, you might do another slow song next week, or you might do that song again. But it was never just out and out said, hey, this is why we're choosing these songs. So all this is not just to tell you how the sausage was made in some of these places. It is literally just saying, as I grew up, I started observing that some of these songs, they weren't necessarily saying to God, or if they were presumed that if God liked them, he would move and then people would move, which is not quite how that works always. It goes back to being shallow. So I kept observing, and there are places that did sing songs just because they were pleasing to God. They were doctrinally sound. They were good songs. As I kept getting older, I learned that so many times churches choose the hip new thing to go for. They choose the popular, if that makes sense. So now it's Maverick City. Now it's Charity Gale. And back in the day, it used to be like Passion or Jesus Culture, all those. What's up, VJ? Good to see you, man. It's already done by one person, but if you are joining us, please hit that like button tonight. Help push this out to more people. But I remember when I was about 12 years old. No, not 12. I was about 14, I think. And one of the biggest Christian acts was Jesus Culture. A little bit after that, it was Planet Shakers. And a little bit, dude, I will be praying for you, man. In Jesus' name. After Planet Shakers, who was it after Planet Shakers? Because it was Israel Houghton. People loved listening to Israel Houghton, BJ Putnam.
A lot of it is Hillsong United too.
That hit around 2016.
Oceans
I think.
was like you'd never hear any other song at church. It was just Oceans.
Because before Oceans, it was very much leaning to folk, and then Hillsong broke onto the scene with Oceans, and then everybody wanted to be Hillsong. And now, after Hillsong, after a couple other people, I remember it was Rebecca St. James, Carrie Job, Kim Walker Smith, all sorts of people that they were making big changes. And then somewhere along the way, everybody just kind of, I think everybody just kind of fell into the industry. Honestly, I think it was a thing of just people falling into the industry. And I think in doing that, people stopped being the culture, stopped changing the culture, and started settling for experiences. They started pushing. I think that's why that one church I was at did what they did. It's because when you are admiring people whose admiration is in God and in worshiping God and pleasing God, you're kind of following in good footsteps. Because if they are seeking God truly and honestly and humbly, then he's going to reward that. And if you are following people who are following Jesus the correct way, then that's a good start. That's a good place to be. But you have to develop your own relationship. But when churches and church musicians and singers and directors and everybody, I'm going to call it for what it is. When people got lazy, it really started to change things. To seek after an experience alone is lazy. To seek after, at least in church, it's lazy. When you're saying, I know if I play a 6, a 4, a 1, and a 5, say we're in this key. And I know people are going to feel convicted because they hear that progression. That's pretty lazy. If you're like, I want people to feel victorious, so I'm going to play a 1, 4, 6, 4. And you're like, I know people are going to feel victorious. People are going to feel blessed. They're going to want to move up and down and want to give more in the offering. then that's lazy. I'm sorry. So I continue to get older, and I'm at a spot now where I was just talking with Casey earlier today. I sat down with a gentleman, and he and we had a really, really good conversation about just music today and how things have been. And that's not to be sad, because there's some really, really good worship music today. There's really, really good worship music being put out. And I don't think it has to come from the big name Bible colleges or the people whose name we recognize. I think honestly, some of the best worship music comes from people who you'll probably never hear um, on a big record. You'll probably never hear them on anything mainstream. Um, a lot of what you hear on the radios today, it's what is pushed by promoters. And promoters, from what I understand, radio stations, at least Christian radio stations, some of them will get a list of safe songs that are given by promoters of different bands and artists and stuff like that. And, that way, the radio stations, they know who they can have on repeat and circulate and all that stuff. That's why sometimes it seems like it's the same songs being played over and over, because it's the same list. And it's not just the same list, but on the same or on different artist records, you have the same producers, same musicians, all of that. And that's why sometimes people will sound like somebody else. Pardon me as I'm fiddling on this. It's been a really long day, and it's kind of helping keeping my mind somewhat engaged. My goal as a channel, it's not to make brand spanking new worship music, although that will happen at some point. I can't get away from the feel that I need to do it at some point. But the goal of this channel isn't that. The goal of the channel isn't to break charts or anything like that. My goal's not really to break charts. If it happens, it happens. Um, my goal, honestly, is to help people. I've had a lot of time to think these past few weeks. And something I've been thinking about these past few weeks is just my purpose. What is it that I know my purpose is? What is it that I believe God is doing or that He's wanting to do? What is it that I think I'm supposed to do? Because I can write a million and one things with this thing. I can write songs about life, about love, about relationships. I can write about heartbreak. I can write about happiness. I can write about joy. I can write about whatever. But I want to be able to look back at the end of my life and say, I honestly did the best I could at my purpose, at what it is I'm supposed to do. Like I said, I'm not I'm not a worship musician by any means. I still love playing church songs. I love playing with people. And that's not really what I'm about. Um, that may change in the future. But honestly, right now, I've wanted to be so genuine with whatever it is I do. I've wanted to be so real with whatever it is I'm doing. And that term gets thrown around a lot. It's like, be real, be authentic, be you. I hate to break it to people, but you're going to be authentically you, no matter how many layers you put on. And eventually people find the real you. It gets exposed at some point. But I was talking with a friend and he mentioned how I seem to be looking for inspiration in different places. And it's true. I literally, again, I can write songs, different songs all day, but there comes a point where if it doesn't mean anything to you, it doesn't really matter. You know, you can write songs about life and love and peace and this. That's also partly why I think that's partly why I don't play church songs nearly as much now. They don't, a lot of church songs don't mean as much to me. At least some of the newer ones. A lot of the old ones, they're still really good. Um, in the shop today, we were playing together, Paul and I. Paul, if you're watching this, I hope you're having a great night, man. But before he and I started jamming, I was sitting down listening to him play keyboard, and one of the associates was singing this old gospel song, and tears just started coming in my eyes. You know, I'm not trying to be the person who fills the gap with meaningful lyrics and stuff like that. I don't think I'm that guy. I think that, in all honesty, I think that those hymns are there for a reason. I think those hymns are powerful. There's a lot of blood soaked hymns. I think there's a lot of songs today that are really powerful. You're right, VJ. I could do I could do covers of songs. And I don't really want to. I'm in a weird spot where my my role I feel like is a blend between entertainment and therapy, because that's what this started out as for me. Writing songs and all that started out as therapy. And today I definitely had some interactions in my brain with things I would much rather forget. You know, I like to act tough. I like to act like I am like I have it all together and whatnot. And it's not the case. Nobody really does. Um, and don't worry, this isn't I'm quitting post or stream, because I'm not. I can't. I tried before and I couldn't. I honestly feel like the next song I do, I have a couple in the works, and hopefully they're going to be coming out the next few days. Um, But I think honestly, the next song, just working on it, is it's honestly just going to be internal reflections. I don't know if it'll. I don't know if it's going to go out or not. It might. It might not. But what I can tell you is I want to be who God made me to be. I want to be a good example. I want to help people in just the struggles of everyday life. I hope that helped you, VJ. um, my plan with perspective makes your reality was to be genuine, to be real. And there are, I think all the songs so far have been genuine, but they haven't been as deep as I want them to be. So I'm working on another project already. I'm still going to be working on Perception Makes Your Reality. I think these next two songs are going to be part of that EP. Excuse me. But I also think that I think I'm just going to work on some more heavier stuff, like topically heavy, not necessarily just shreddy. Although I do look forward to doing more of that. Part the noise as bumping the mic cable there. I honestly think that there's going to be a lot of good coming down the way. And just pray for me. I am finding my way, as it were. Um, I left the medical field quite some time back. And I'm finding that there's still so much that I still carry around with me. There's still so many um, still so many people that had an effect on me. And I'm not asking for sympathy or anything like that. It's just a fact of life that sometimes we think we've made more progress in healing than what we have. And I think that's one of those cases for me. I have not, man. I don't think I have. I don't have a college degree when it comes to any of that. I honestly have been trying to stay away from like medical and stuff like that. And maybe that's the issue, is the avoidance. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could say. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could remember. There's a lot of things I wish I could just pull up from my brain and get rid of. BJ, that's why you always carry pepper spray. It takes the stress away. Whew, my timing is terrible when I'm tired. Who am I kidding? My timing is just terrible. Anyways, sorry, I did not mean for tonight to be a little bit more on the downer side. I was honestly going to be talking about a couple different things, but it is what it is. It's just hanging out either way. I appreciate you guys for being here. New songs are coming shortly. I am hoping for this week. It may be end of week. It may be next week. This weekend, I am playing at a open mic night, so please be praying for me. It's going to be a blast. If you are near Rolla, then you should come out and say hi. There might be a little... oh my goodness. See, VJ, that sounds like a fun time. That honestly sounds like a crazy day, man. I'm glad you're okay. there may be a little bit more slowdown on the content. So I'm going to be working on a few things. I'm currently working on an ad for a business. Um, I'm going to be working on a long form video here. I still have to get more stuff together in order to do this video well. And then hopefully going to be dropping my first long form video sometime in the future. Not going to say when. In addition to that, I'm still working on music. Excuse me, working on songs and videography. Excuse me. And yeah, I'm actually still really, really thankful, guys, because like it's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. And I really enjoy doing what I do. I'm also, even though she's not here at the moment, I'm really thankful for my wife because, guys, she helps me in so much when it comes to this stuff. Um, New shirt is going in the store. It is the original logo. So if you are in Rolla and looking for an extra large shirt and want to support me, support the channel, then go to Mets Music. And there at Mets Music, you can find Blood Wolf Record t-shirts. Currently still have two there, or one there at the moment. The second one's coming in. And I have a retro logo there and classic logo. Um, let's see, what else am I missing? I think for right now, that's mostly it. It is not a whole lot this week. Going to be trying to go live again later this week, but again, there's a lot of scheduling changes coming up. So content might be a little bit slow, but don't worry, guys. It's coming. And I appreciate you guys being so patient. I don't do this for you guys, but I really appreciate your guys being there and enjoying the product. I learned a long time ago that when you're doing a project, if you're doing it for the applause of other people, you're really not going to be happy because everybody has a different idea of how something should be or sound. And you just got to do you. You just got to do you. Man, the things I would tell younger Jeremy if I could go back in time. How did that go? Man, things that I haven't played since I was, I think, teenager, a little bit older. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. Hope you have a really good night. We will see you all soon. Have a great night. Take care, guys.